All right, Katie, go ahead.
Okay, great. So, hi everyone. My name's Katie from the University of Birmingham. I'm from the international recruitment team. So, I'm here just to give you a bit of an overview of the University of Birmingham and also about why would you want to study in the UK. Firstly, I'm just going to leave that one there actually. But firstly, I'm going to go into why studying at a UK university. So we know a lot of you have got quite a lot of choice about where you want to study. You may want to stay studying in Canada, go to somewhere close by like the USA, or even lots of other places in Europe. So I'm just trying to give you a little bit of an overview of UK education. So one of the reasons is that UK has a very world-class international reputation, and we've had that reputation for a very long time. So a lot of our universities in the UK are very well established. They've been running for very many years. So the programs that we deliver are very established. We also have teachings by experts in the field. So we'll have lecturers that are very well reputed internationally. And another thing in the UK is that we have public universities. So that's sometimes quite different. We don't have any private universities in the UK, but we have public universities, which means we can enjoy a lot of academic autonomy. So our universities can design our programs and input in terms of the content of what we teach our students. There's also very robust quality control in the UK as well. And we also have very good facilities and modern accommodation. So a lot of you'll be pleased to know that all of our accommodation generally has single bedrooms. So you don't have to share your room with anyone else. And then you have an apartment and you share sort of kitchen, bathroom with other people. We also have a focus on small group teaching and personal attention. So you will have large lectures, but you also have smaller independent seminars and stuff like that as well. We also have very high completion rates. So the majority of students that are joining us for a degree will complete their degree. And that's usually within the given time. So say you're coming to do a 3-year degree, majority of students, and it's close to sort of 95%, will actually graduate within that 3-year period. We also have exceptional student experience. So we're not just about that academic study, but we want you to have a very good student experience as well. There's also a lot of focus on individual learning. So we want you to bring your thoughts and ideas and carry out some independent research when you're with us. And finally, there's a lot of opportunity for study abroad opportunities and also internships as well. We also specialise early in our degree, so you don't have to do a generic first year. So unlike the US, for example, you don't have to do a generic first year studying a variety of modules. You'll go straight into that degree. So if you're really focused on the subject area you want to study, you don't have to concentrate on other modules in your first year. You can go straight into the subject you want to study. Length of study is also less as well. So usually masters in the UK are just 1 year. If you're coming for undergraduate, it's generally 3 years or maybe 4 years if you add on a work placement. Another bonus is you can also go straight into subjects like law or medicine. You don't have to do a pre-law or a pre-med. You can go straight into those degrees as an undergraduate without any previous study. We're also very multicultural in the UK, very welcoming, and we have lots of different people from all over around the world. So it's a very multicultural environment. It's also got a good infrastructure. It's very easy to travel around the UK, so you'll be able to have a chance to look around different countries. As I mentioned here, the size of the UK, it's very easy to go and see different cities, different countries. And we're also safe in the UK as well. We're a very, very safe place to be based. And a lot of our cities, even the bigger cities, they're very, very safe to come and study in. So giving you a little bit of advice on which university as well. So some of you may have listened to some presentations from other UK universities or even other international universities today. And there's just a few tips here on how to choose a university and the main kind of points to consider. So that could be, is it a city or campus-based university? Is it a large or small institution? It's also good to look at rankings as well. And we always say, look at the overall ranking, but also look at the individual ranking for your particular course. And as well as the school, the department, things like employability of graduates. Obviously, we want to welcome you to the university, but one of our main aims is also to send you away with a very good job. It's also good to check out entry requirements. have a look if you can get into the university. Do you have the right GPA? Do you have the right score in your high school? Do you have the relevant subjects as well? So that's something that you can ask us during sessions like today's. It's also good looking at the course as well, so to find out whether the specialist modules, specialist courses that you want to study are available in the university that you're considering. Also look at facilities as well. You want to make sure that the facilities on campus meet up to your expectations. That could be related to the course. So if you're coming for engineering, you want to know maybe what the labs are like. But similarly for your own personal development as well, perhaps if you're really interested in swimming, you want to make sure that there is a pool on campus. You're going to be at the university for quite a significant amount of time. So you want to make sure that you've got all the facilities that you need to enjoy your time there. Okay, so this is just a quick picture of Birmingham, so you can get an idea of what the campus looks like. We've got a large campus. It's got around 35,000 students, and you can see how beautifully green the campus is as well, and our lovely big sports pitches that surround our campus too. And in terms of courses, just to give you an idea, we are a very comprehensive university. So we offer a variety of different programs. Pretty much all areas are covered at the university. So we've just listed here all of our colleges. We've got 5 main colleges: arts and law, engineering and physical sciences, life and environmental sciences, medical and dental sciences, and also social sciences as well. And within those departments, we've got various different schools and institutes. So you can have a look here at the kind of general areas that students can study. This list is obviously not exhaustive. We actually offer over about 900 different programs at Birmingham. Sometimes you can combine more than one subject as well, and you can do interdisciplinary studies where you can study across some of the departments as well. So to be honest, there's probably something to suit most of you today, depending on your interest and your background. Most of these courses will offer from right down from foundation level all the way up to PhD. So depending on what level you're currently studying in Canada or whichever country you're studying at, we probably will have something to offer you, whether you're interested in developing your skills or even changing pathway, we can also help with that as well. So just a little bit about entry requirements, and just a reminder for students that are perhaps thinking about studying something like law, medicine or dentistry. If you're coming with something like A-levels, IB, or even the Canadian local system, you can actually go straight into year 1 of all of our undergraduate courses at the University of Birmingham. So just to give you an idea of our grades, if you're doing A-levels, we're looking for somewhere between A star, AA and ABB. IB will be 32 points, and in Ontario diploma, probably looking for around 85%, or 75% for some of our courses. So that's kind of the region what we're looking at. If any of you are looking for postgraduate study or master's level, we'll usually look for a good bachelor's degree with a GPA of usually around 3 out of 4 from a recognised institution. We do also need an acceptable English language qualification. A lot of you from Canada won't necessarily need to take an extra test. You may have already done the required level of English through your studies already, so don't worry too much about taking an extra test, but we can help you with that, and certainly all of our students will come in with a test, but we can help you whether you need to take an additional one. Some courses will need an interview. This is mainly things like medicine, physio. We do also have some interviews for some of our postgraduate courses like MBA. And just a reminder, for law, we don't require LNAT. So any of you are thinking about studying law, you don't need to do that extra qualification. However, for applicants for something like medicine or dentistry, you must take the LNAT test, the UCAT test, which is a aptitude test designed for entry to any course that's looking at any student that's looking at studying medicine or dentistry. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick focus on law because I know a lot of students from Canada are generally interested in this subject. So just to tell you a little bit about the law courses we have at Birmingham. So we've got a couple of different LLBs, which are all 3 years in duration. So you can just do an LLB in law, but you can also do minors in criminology, business. We offer law with French and German, and we also offer an international law and globalization. The law school is also very highly ranked, so generally in the top 100 in the world rankings, currently 59th. And we also have some options to study a dedicated module in Canadian constitutional law, which is obviously very appropriate if you decide you want to go back to study and practice law in Canada. We also do have lots of pro bono work as well. So this is something that's very, very active. We have a pro bono society and pro bono projects that we run. And one of the pro bono society is actually currently being chaired by one of our Canadian students. What they do is provide free advice to those in need within the local community. And this gives our Canadian students some invaluable legal work experience, as well as a chance to make a difference to the communities in the UK. We also have a moot room as well. And so this is a dedicated facility for people who want to practice the extracurricular mooting. This is like a legal debate, and it gives you a chance to get some experience of that. Law, legal education. This is a good chance for you to have an advocacy module, which is quite popular as well for students that really want to hone in on those mooting skills, which they might use again in their future careers. We also have recognition. So if you're coming to do a LLB degree in the UK, and particularly at the University of Birmingham, we are recognised by the Federation of Canadian Law Societies National Committee on Accreditation, so the NCA. So Canadian students, what they do when they go back is they are required to sit a number of challenge exams in order to fill the requirements set out by the NCA. But we will help you with that process. And Canadian students can choose to meet those requirements by meeting their challenge exams through self-study or taking a master's degree at certain law schools. And most students do actually complete those NCA exams within around 12 months of returning to Canada. We actually do as well. So this is something very specific to Birmingham. We offer an annual free week-long summer school, which is with our partner NCA Tutor. And that accredits you for when you're going back and you want to take the NCA exams. That will get you ready and put you in the best possible position to take those exams and obviously pursue a job in the legal field in Canada as well. Also focusing on medicine as well, because another popular choice. We actually have about 28 places available for international students, which is one of the largest UK universities for medicine. We do have an early application deadline, and this is the same for all UK universities, which will be the 15th of October. The University of Birmingham is very highly ranked. It's 64th in the world for medicine this year. And we also offer a traditional based course, which will have years 1 and 2, where you will study the preclinical years. And so you'll learn about the structure and the function of the human body. You also have around 8 days each year going out into the community with GPs and patients. Then year 3, 4 and 5 are the clinical years, where most students will actually take an opportunity to do some teaching in a partner hospital. So they'll be one of our teaching hospitals, and you also do some clinical placements and attachments as well. So just moving on to a little bit about Birmingham. So I don't know how many of you know about Birmingham, where we are, and about our city, but there's a map here, which I'm sure you'll recognise as the UK, and you can see where Birmingham is, and we're geographically located right in the centre of England. We're the UK's second largest city with a population of over 1 million, and we're about 90 minutes from London. We've got very good transport links, and we're also very international. So we have an international airport which connects you to lots of different cities around the world. We're also very multicultural as a city. The university is, but also the city. And a lot of our population is under 30 years. And a lot of the reason for that is because we are a very student-facing city. So a lot of our students stay and contribute to the culture of the city as well. We've got lots of music venues, sporting events. We just held the 2022 Commonwealth Games in our city. And we also have lots of parks and open spaces. We have a German market every year, which is actually just open now for this year. And it's very easy to travel around Birmingham, around the UK from Birmingham and to other European cities as well. We actually have more miles of canal in Birmingham than in Venice in Italy. And you can actually walk all the way from the University of Birmingham all the way to the city centre down the canals. And we're also home to Cadbury chocolate. So if you like Cadbury chocolate, there's the Cadbury Chocolate Factory, which is inspiration for Charlie and Chocolate Factory stories and films. You can go and visit that during your time as well. And there's some pictures were actually taken during a recent trip. So this was down in Toronto and Hamilton in May this year when we came out with the Queen's Baton to take it around Canada. And this is also some of our alumni as well. So some alumni from McMaster University and also some alumni that have come from Birmingham and returned back now. So meeting some alumni. So there's a big alumni community when you return to Canada as well. So just a little bit more detail about Birmingham. We have approximately 10,000 students internationally. We've got about 34,000 students overall, so just under a third of our students are international, and we're actually ranked in the top 100 world universities. We're also part of the Russell Group, which is a research intensive group of universities, and we were founded back in 1900. So very old institution. We also offer lots of opportunities on our courses, which could be year-long internships. We have a lot of field trips. We offer year abroad. We offer work experience. As I mentioned, the pro bono work for law students. There's also physiotherapy, for example, which offers pitchside support, placements with Birmingham City Football Club. And all of our courses have something like this involved. So there's a lot of opportunity to have some practical experience as well as your academic. We also have a careers network on campus. We offers a lot of careers fairs, and we are one of the most targeted universities by employers. So it helps you for your future career plans as well. And even if you don't know what those are, our careers teams can sit down with you and help you through your decision-making process. We also have a beautiful green campus, as you can see from the photo here. We're located just 10 minutes from the city centre. The orange circle in the bottom is where the campus is with the clock tower, and then the bigger orange circle in the background is the city centre. And that is easy to get to by train, by bus, if you want to take Uber, or you could even walk, as I mentioned before. On campus, we actually have an art gallery, we have botanical gardens, and we also have a concert hall as well. And all of these are free of charge to access. We have a 24-hour library and also subject-specific libraries, and including open access computer suites. We've got banks, shops, cafes and restaurants. And we also offer we've got a sports centre, which is very new, with a 50-metre swimming pool, running tracks, books, pitches, and our students' union with over 250 different clubs and societies. We've also got a safe, secure and friendly environment, and we do guarantee university accommodation for our students as well. So our campus is very much for study and leisure. So we want to make sure you have a really good academic experience, but you also have a really good social experience as well. So a lot of this I've covered already, but these are again just some of the main things that we have: the music building, the 24-hour library, the sports centre, the 50-metre swimming pool. We were hosted the hockey and squash on our campus for the Commonwealth Games this year, and we also have the Guild of Students. Another thing that we have is our chaplaincy multi-faith centre. So from whatever religious background you're from, you can still practice and get involved in that when you're studying with us. Okay, I'm hoping this is going to work, but I'm just going to show a brief video to just give you a little campus tour. Oh, it's not work. Let me just go back.
Hi, I'm Courtney, and I'm a student here at the University of Birmingham. Welcome to our campus. We're a Russell Group university found in the leafy suburbs of Edgbaston in Birmingham. As you'll see, we have a beautiful green campus with lots of open space and red brick buildings. We'll start our tour in Chancellor's Court. Here you'll find Old Joe, our clock tower, which was built in 1909. It's home to a pair of peregrine falcons and is the tallest freestanding clock tower in Europe. This is the Aston Webb building. It was one of the first buildings built here in 1900. It's built from Accrington red brick, which led to the term Red Brick University, of which Birmingham was the first. We were also the first campus university. Inside, there's a whispering gallery above reception in the Aston Webb, and 9 life-size figures over the entrance doors representing great thinkers through the ages. They reflect subjects taught at the university and cultural heritage. This is the Great Hall. Students sit exams here. and this is also where graduation ceremonies are held. Just down the corridor is the Student Hub, which is home to a wide range of student support facilities, with experts to help if you need any support with funding, mental health and wellbeing, or disability services. The Bramall Music Building opened in September 2012 and is an extension to the Aston Webb Building. It houses a 450-seat music auditorium and is named after a major alumni donor. The Green Heart is a 12-acre parkland in the centre of campus. It's a beautiful space for students, staff and the local community to enjoy, and provides space for performances, socialising, meeting and studying throughout the year. The main library is one of 6 libraries across campus in the region, and it's open 24/7 during term time and has all sorts of different types of study spaces, including silent rooms, group study rooms and relaxing spaces. The Teaching and Learning Building is a great space for students. It has lots of study space and has 2 large lecture theatres. All of the interactive spaces make it great for group projects. The Guild is the students' union for every student here. It is a registered charity that exists to bridge the gap between students and the university institutions and to ensure students are represented and supported independent of their degree. All students are automatically a member of the Guild. University of Birmingham Sport and Fitness caters for all levels and abilities, whether you're a beginner or elite athlete. There's something for everyone, whether it's fitness classes, trying a new sport, playing with friends, or joining a club and playing for the university. The university is brimming with culture, and there's plenty to explore and enjoy. The Barber Institute of Fine Arts is one of Europe's finest small art galleries, and it's free for students. It's home to lots of paintings by artists including Monet, Van Gogh and Picasso. This is the Lapworth Museum of Geology. It has over 250,000 specimens, including fossils, minerals, and even a dinosaur skeleton. Up near the station, we have the Collaborative Teaching Laboratory, which brings together practical teaching activities across a broad range of science and engineering disciplines. It has a wet lab, dry lab, and e-lab. And just next to it is the Learning Centre, where there are plenty of computer clusters. Birmingham is lucky to have our own railway station on campus, aptly called the University. You can catch a train into the centre of Birmingham in about 8 minutes from here. Just over the road is our medical school. Birmingham Medical School is a community of learning, teaching and research that opened in 1825 and has an impressive range of facilities. It's adjacent to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and due to our central location in Birmingham, we're able to offer accessible placements for all students. You'll also find plenty of amenities on campus. There are banks and cash points, a post office and even a hair and beauty salon in the centre of campus. And of course, plenty of spaces to eat and drink all over. From tea and cake to burgers, salads and tapas, there's something to suit all tastes and budgets. You'll find everything you need right here. We hope you enjoyed looking around our beautiful campus, and we hope to see you here soon.
Okay, hopefully that gave you a little bit of an overview. I'm just going to run through the last few slides now before we can take some questions. So just highlighting here our clubs and societies. I did touch on this before, but our Students' Union's got over 250 different clubs and societies, and there's just some examples here. So there'll be lots and lots of different things you can join up, in particular to get some extracurricular experiences whilst you're at university. There's just some examples here like Film Society, baking, politics, debating. Some are related to courses, but there are also some that are purely just for your own fun. talking at the end really here is about the careers, which I know may seem a long time off because you're now thinking about the university, but obviously it's also good to think about your career plans afterwards. So we are one of the best universities in terms of careers. We spend a lot of time with our graduates or our fresh graduates to look for jobs for them. We are one of the most targeted universities by graduate employers. We're consistently in the top 5 for that, and we do offer dedicated international support. We understand a lot of you may not want to stay in the UK. You may be looking for international opportunities, so we help with that as well. We have lots of fairs. An example in the background here, we've got a photo which shows the type of fairs that we have, where you can go around and find about the different companies that you could perhaps start working for. And there's just some examples as well of our international students have gone to work to. So I'm sure you'll recognise quite a lot of these companies here. Sometimes students have done internships with these companies or one-year placements, and others have gone on to full-time jobs with these particular organisations. And just finally, just wanted to say, obviously, we have a big thriving Canadian community. We've got a Canadian society that you can join up to. If some of you are not from Canada, you're also most welcome. We've got lots of international students coming to us from all around the world, and a lot of students that join up to the Canadian Society and will get involved with different cultural events throughout their time at Birmingham. It's a good way to meet other people from your country or potentially with an interest in Canada as well. Okay, so that's it from me in terms of the presentation. We've got a couple of, about 10 minutes or so for questions. I will just stop sharing my screen, but if anyone wants to take down my details there with my name, my email, and some of our socials that you can get in touch on. I'll just leave that for a couple more seconds, and then I will stop sharing screen so we can have some questions as well. Okay. So I can see that some questions have come in. So I'll just try and answer those as we go through. So I'll see if I'll guess which most of these. Okay, so I can see one from Sophia that's asking about how inclusive is your student body. I'm assuming maybe you're referring to internationalization and stuff like that. So we are very inclusive in terms of we welcome students from all backgrounds, so all nationalities. We also offer all genders, all different races, etc., etc. So we're particularly inclusive at the university. Your application is purely assessed on your academic background. So that's the main thing that we're looking for, is a strong academic background. Whilst you're at the university, you'll have a really good chance to get involved with all of the other cultures at the university, all of the different organizations that we have. So yeah, I would say the student body is very, very inclusive, very diverse in terms of nationalities, backgrounds, any type of different demeanor we can look at. That is what we're looking for in particular, is people that can come and enrich our university campus. So we are actively looking to make our student body more inclusive. We've also got a question about when are your application deadlines. And so, yes, this varies depending on which course you're applying for. If you're applying for undergraduate courses, you will use a system in the UK called UCAS, which some of you may have already heard of. It's basically a university and colleges admission service, which all UK universities will use. They have various deadlines throughout the year. The main ones to remember is the 15th of October, which is the deadline for medicine and dentistry. It's also a deadline for Oxford and Cambridge. So if any of you are thinking about applying for them. The second deadline is January the 15th, which is the early application deadline and the equal consideration deadline. We would always encourage students to apply before that January the 15th deadline. However, the very, very latest deadline is usually the end of June. But we don't recommend you apply as late as that. Some courses, if they're very, very popular, they will have already filled up. So if you can apply by that January the 15th deadline, we would strongly recommend you to do so. We've also got another question about, do you work with students to get their student visa? And yes, we do. So once you've got an offer from the university and you've accepted that offer, we will then help you with your visa application as well. So we will send you out something that we call a CAS letter, which is a certificate of acceptance of studies, and you will use that to apply for your visa. You will have to go and apply for your visa independently, but we will give you help and guidance on that and how to fill in the forms. If you do have any specific questions about applying to your visa, we have a whole visa team within the university. And then once your visa is granted, we will also give you the details about how to collect your formal visa when you arrive in the UK. We actually are able to generate and issue BRP cards. So that's something that's like an identity card. You're able to get that on the campus itself, so you don't have to go anywhere else outside. There's also another question about, is it possible to do a double major? It is in certain circumstances. We do have some joint honours courses. We don't have so many in the UK, perhaps, that you would find in other countries. We do tend to focus more on one particular subject, but we do have some joint honours, but it tends to be courses that complement each other. So, for example, you might be able to combine international relations and French, or you might be able to combine something like biology with a little bit of chemistry, so biochemistry, something like that. We do, however, have a liberal arts course at Birmingham, which allows you to combine a variety of different majors. So that could be an option if you're really unsure. You can do the liberal arts course. It is, however, 1 year longer than the other courses, because the majority of degrees in the UK are 3 years, but liberal arts is a 4-year course. You do get still to specify a major on that, but you will then also have lots of little minors to go on that as well. So that's a good option if you're really unsure. But if you do check our website, you'll be able to find out all the joint honours, or what you would call a double majors. But like I say, they're not a huge list available at the university. It's only those subjects that tend to complement each other. Okay, and so Dania has asked a question about the acceptance rate for the medical school. Okay, so we don't really have something called an acceptance rate at UK university, so it's a bit different. But to break it down a little bit for something like the medical school, is we have 28 places per year. We would probably receive in the region of about 600 applications for those places, somewhere between 500 to 600. We would then usually interview in the region of about 70 to 80 students and probably offer 50 to 60 students a place on the course. We do have a lot of information about medicine on our website. It's quite complex, and it gives you the criteria of how we decide on the applicants, because we use for medicine a combination of the UCAT score and also your academic grade. So there's a little bit of a different way of assessing that. There's also an interview for the medical course as well. But that's just to give you an idea. We probably have in the region of about 600 applications in the first instance, and about 50 to 60 of those students will probably get an offer. Obviously, then we have some students that don't accept us, some that do, and so hopefully that ends up at about 28 places that will be coming through to us as well. But the main thing with the medicine is to make sure that you get yourself very prepared for the application process. You register for the tests on time. I was out in Canada just in October, and there was a few students that were hoping to apply to medicine, but they hadn't done the UCAT. And unfortunately, we cannot accept any application without the UCAT. So it's making sure that you've got all those extra bits in place ready to be able to apply for the academic year that you want to come. Okay, so I think that's all the questions that have come in the chat box. If anyone else has a question, feel free to post it now as well. We've got a few more minutes, so we can have any more questions. Okay, so I don't think there's, okay, there is one other question. Sorry, I just saw that come in. So Yanamina, I hope I've said your name correctly, has asked, is liberal arts an undergraduate or a master's program? It's a good question, but yes, it is an undergraduate program. So it's a 4-year course. The reason it's 4 years is that you do 2 years of study, and then year 3, you do a year at one of our partner universities. And then in the final year, you come back to study at Birmingham. So it's no extra sort of length. It's just that you do an exchange. So you do a 4-year course, still 3 years of study at Birmingham, but you do an exchange to one of our partner universities. So it is an undergraduate degree. You do have lots of different modules that you take. Like I say, you choose a major within that course. So that could be maths, it could be biology, it could be French, it could be English, it could be international relations, and then you choose a lot of different modules. It's very interdisciplinary, so you can study across different departments as well. So it gives you that opportunity to study a variety of different things and really tailor your degree. We do have some common modules as well that are specific to the liberal arts degree, and those ones tend to be where all the liberal arts students will get together on a particular module, and they have different topics that they study throughout the years on those as well, so that you still feel very inclusive as a cohort, even though you're all studying different masters and different majors. Sorry, but yes, it is an undergraduate degree for the liberal arts. Okay, so I think we will leave it there. I think I can probably type my email address into the chat box as well. So in case anyone has any other questions, you can always drop me a line. I'm happy to speak to anyone. We can also set up Zoom chats and stuff like that to give you a little bit more insight into the university or into the particular course that you're looking to apply to. But yeah, I hope that you've had some useful information today from all of the universities attending, and hopefully this has given you a bit of a overview of Birmingham. But feel free to keep in touch, and otherwise, thank you for joining. It's been a really nice time to spend the evening with you. So thank you.